Welcome back, kiddies, to the latest installment of Tales from the Grid. In today's episode, we are going to talk about Splatterhouse 3 on the Sega Genesis, and we are going to continue our spooktacular countdown of Season 1 from Tales from the Crypt. What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking Black-O-Lantern by Wasatch Brewing Company. It's a pumpkin stout.
All right, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and fasten your seatbelts, kiddies. It's time for Tales from the Grid. Alright, here we go. Welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Grid. Today we are going to talk about a horror game that we love playing time and time again. And it has so much curb appeal. And that's Splatterhouse 3.
Oh man, this is such an easy pick up and play beat 'em up style game for the Sega Genesis. And this game is so badass because you're like this big guy, I think his name is Rick, and he's trying to save his wife and kid because they got taken, and he's just pounding enemies left and right, and it is awesome.
But the difference from this to a traditional beat 'em up is that there is actually a pretty good story that is weaved through this game and helps drive the narrative. And you can't just wander around either. You want to pick a pretty crucial path because you're timed before your wife and son are going to get killed.
Yeah, they can get killed, and if you take too long, and there's like a map so you can find like the quickest path to the bad guy. It is tough at some parts because sometimes they drop a bunch of bad guys.
Rick is a very successful individual. This is his third rendezvous with the mask, if you will. So the evil one kidnaps Rick's wife, and all the while it's kind of more of like, I feel like a distraction because he really wants to kidnap his son, David.
Or as I like to call him, Kevin McAllister.
It's one of those things when Rick puts on the mask, he turns into Rick the Dick. He gets ripped, just jacked up. It's kind of like Jason Voorhees is what I've always thought it looked like. When I was younger, like I kind of felt like I was playing the Friday the 13th game. But this game's a lot of fun. It's only one player. It's moderately difficult. For collectors out there, it is a more expensive kind of sought after game for the Sega Genesis. But Splatterhouse 1 is okay. 2 and 3 are really good. And then they actually had one on the 360, I believe.
Did they really?
It's okay, but you can unlock the first couple Splatterhouses.
I think Splatterhouse 3 is my favorite in the series.
The whole purpose of this series, though, is Tales from the Crypt. We are going through Season 1 and ranking all the episodes throughout the season, worst to the best.
Episode 5 in our ranking is Only Sin Deep. And this episode is about beauty, and beauty is only skin. Or should I say, sin deep.
Yeah, a lot of a common thread throughout Tales from the Crypt is kind of lust and wanting what you can't have. And she goes into this pawn shop, she being Sylvia, the main character in this episode, and she's trying to pawn off some stuff that she had stolen the night before. Right away, the guy that runs the pawn shop is like, no, this stuff's hot, I don't want it. You know, meaning it's stolen, right? Because I think she actually robbed her pimp is kind of the way it went down.
She's a lady of the night.
Yeah, so anyways, he won't take it, but he does offer her something else. There's another layer to the onion. He offers to pay her, was it $100,000?
Yeah, it was a lot of money for her beauty. And she's like, you'll pay me this much money for my beauty? Okay.
My beauty, silly me, what was I thinking?
Yeah, so she thinks all that he's doing is taking a mold of her face. He rigs up some concoction, puts some spell on it, and as the days go by, she slowly starts cracking with age. Her skin, she becomes old Leatherface, if you will. It's not a pretty sight, so she goes from being gorgeous to not so gorgeous. Now, this deal came with a return policy.
Yes, she had 4 months to return her beauty for the money back, or, you know, she could just return it within 4 months. And does she make it in time? I don't know. You'll have to tune in to find out. But at the moment when she gets all the money, she starts hooking up with this guy that's super rich, so she's super happy. She has everything she wants, and then it all starts leaving her and going away. And that's a common thread.
Pretty good episode, but not one of the best in the season, but it's still definitely worth a watch. And for all of the Tales from the Crypt stuff, we will put links in the description below of how you can get your hands on these episodes. Let's talk about the beer.
Let's talk about the beer. This is a pumpkin stout. You're the stout man.
So, Wasatch Brewery out of Utah, and no, this beer doesn't have multiple wives, okay? But this beer is really freaking good. I like this beer.
This is a really smooth stout that you can taste the pumpkin flavoring, but I wish there was more pumpkin. I feel like I'm always wanting more, and I'm always trying to lust for more. Maybe I should learn my lesson from Tales.
Yeah.
Stop wishing for
Maybe
that.
you should. Yeah, I would say this stout, for what it is, I'd probably say like a 4-ish out of 5. It's really good. I can always go for more pumpkin and that nutmeg and the spices of the season. But I do think this beer captures the season that is October. And it pairs very well with Tales from the Crypt.
And it's not too heavy either. Like if you want to get into stouts, this might be a good one because it's light. It's not too aggressive stout wise, because you know what, when you get in like the imperial stouts and stuff, it gets crazy. So
for sure,
it's really smooth.
In the comment section below, let us know. Have you played Splatterhouse 3? What episodes of Tales from the Crypt are your favorite? We always love having that discussion. What games are you playing in October? What shows are you watching in October? Let's talk about it in the comment section below. We always appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. We'll see you next time, right here on Tales from the Crypt.
It is really good, and it makes me want to get married for some reason. Just had to say it. But it's a really smooth.
Oh, sharts. Sharts in my stinky parts. Speed kills going down the mountain. Speed kills
Going down South Park.
coming down the street. You got it?
Yeah, I think we got it.
Here's mommy.